All right, that was Miguel Skywalker. Over the weekend, everybody saw what happened in Covington, Kentucky. A school from Covington, Kentucky, and black Israelites, but you didn't see too much on TV. And Indians, Native Americans, all got together in the same place. Now you see the image of the young, laughing white kid in front of the Indian elder beating his drum. There was a rush by the media to say what they saw initially. And then, of course, the white kids gave their interpretation of what happened. I think that I didn't need an explanation. That same look is the same smug look that Kavanaugh had. It's the same look those white kids had at the counter, lunch counters when they were denying people the right to eat there, or when they were sicking dogs under that. We've seen that look all too familiar. Now, anytime you wear a Make America Great hat around a lot of different kinds of people, that automatically says something to them. It is, in fact, the new hood. It is. It is. Don't tell me he's young. Oh, he's young. He makes mistakes. Trayvon Martin was his age, and he was old enough to be held responsible for his action to the extent that you could kill him. This is what you get when racism is passed down. I don't care what you say to me. Those boys were there to incite racism. The same hats they wore are the same hats those kids wore in Charlottesville. The same hats they wear are the same hats that guy had on when he sent those 13 bombs to all those political figures around the country. It does not mean anything other than an excitement of racial hatred. That's all it is. They didn't need to say anything. They left their calling card. When you wear that hat, especially around a lot of people that aren't like you, if you look around and you see brown and yellow and red faces, they are offended by that for the most part. Don't tell me how young he is. He's young. If he were a black man, he'd be young enough to be slain by the police or to be denied entry into this country. If he's young enough, is he young? Is he as young as those kids you have in cages? You cannot pretend like you don't see what you saw. You can be anything you want. They had the right to be there. The Israelites had the right to be there. The Indians had the right to be there. But don't pretend like we don't know what we were there for. They were there to march and to start some shit, and that's what happened. So let's not pretend like they don't know what happened. And I guarantee you, if you go home and see some of the parents of these kids, you'll see where they got it from. It's learned behavior. They think that's acceptable. When they're doing tomahawks and doing rape jokes and yelling, "Build that wall," that means one thing. You do not need, people get mad at this, but the truth of it is that the swastika, the Nazi symbol it didn't always mean what the Nazis co-opted it to mean. It didn't always mean that. But once they used it that many times, it's synonymous with that. Once you put that hat on, I don't care what your intentions were, once you put that hat on, walk around a lot of brown and black and red people, they're going to be upset about it. So don't pretend like you don't know what that is, and don't pretend like that was just innocent fun. Those are the same boys, that same attitude. You can see, I guarantee if you look back historically, you'll see that same look in historical pictures where men were getting hung, or getting water holes stuck on them, or being denied the right to go to school, or being denied the right to eat. We didn't need a second look at it. We've seen that look our whole life. It is the look of what America is trying to be again. That's a little note from the GED section. We got a jazz report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.